Apple introduced some new features for hikers. They're going to roll out to everyone in a few months, but I downloaded the beta to my iPhone 15 and my Apple Watch Ultra 2, and I came here to Joshua Tree National Park. It's only about 110 degrees Fahrenheit to test them out. In this video, I'll show you what it's like to use these hiking features, and we'll also give the text messaging over satellite a whirl, which is similar to what you can do on a Garmin inReach. We're going to go into the Maps app to plan this out, and you can see the first time I've launched Maps in iOS 18, I get this little interstitial screen telling me that now there are hikes and custom routes in Maps, and I can start using those. All right, let's search for Joshua Tree National Park to get the official entry for it. There it is in the middle. Let's click on that, and here is Joshua Tree National Park. If we go into the tray on the bottom and scroll down, there we have popular hikes. And it's not like there's unpopular and popular, it just looks like popular. And if we scroll to the right, you can see that they are sorted by distance, and it's giving us a list of them. There are a lot of them in here. Some of these are kind of obscure. And if I click on more, I have a whole map of them, and I can bring the tray up again and scroll through on the map and click on one for more details. Here we are in Keys View. It gives me the elevation profile, the distance, but really nothing else, no other context to it. And if we take a look at the other hikes, again, sorted by distance, and scroll down a little bit, we do have longer hikes on here, not just these short ones, all the way up to the California Riding and Hiking Trail on the bottom, 42 miles. It's more of a backpacking trip. Interesting that it's in there. Has some obscure ones in there too, like Bigfoot Trail. It gives us a time estimate as well and an elevation profile, so pretty neat. All right, so let's pick a hike I can do without cooking my brain in my skull since it's so hot. Here's the Bahada Nature Trail. This looks perfect, 7 minutes, 0.3 miles. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Add to Library, and then after I hit Add to Library, I get this screen right here. It lets me rename it, add notes, and also download it. So let's click Done. And now I get a little notification that it's been downloaded and it's ready to go. And I can also hit directions and get directions from my current location to the trailhead, which is handy that that's all integrated. Now, if I want to see the routes that I've saved, I just pull my tray up and I go into Library, and there's routes, and here are all the ones that I've saved. I saved these before I made the video, and you can delete them out of here too. But there it is. And if you click on the detail, there's our Bahada Nature Trail that we saved a second ago. Now, we don't have to use the Apple hiking maps. We can make our own. I'm just going to mark location right there and then create a custom route. Click on that. And we get this little visual instruction on the bottom. If you've used route creation tools on other platforms before, it's really the same. We're just going to click on different points, and this will automatically snap us along the trails. So if I click here in the beginning, and then I click somewhere else, it will just snap me on the trails that it has here. These maps, by the way, are based on OpenStreetMaps, but they've been vetted by the parks and the Apple Maps team. And you can see here, if we just click around, we can create our own route here. And we can click on a point and delete it. You can click on a point and do things like reverse, out and back, close loop, all the standard routing tools that you may have seen on other platforms like Strava or Garmin courses or All Trails. And then when you're done with it, you just hit the save button on the bottom, and it will save this as a route, and you can name it whatever you'd want. And it basically behaves just like the hiking trail that we saved earlier. Same thing, it will be in our library under routes. One of the nice things about the integration into Apple Maps is that when I wanted to go to the trailhead, it was easy enough just to do directions and have it pop up on my CarPlay, just like I would with any other destination I used in Apple Maps. One of the things to note, when I got to the trailhead, I put it in airplane mode and I went to the watch because I thought it would be loaded on there as an offline route. Went into routes and found nothing in there. So that was a bit of a bummer for offline. Again, this is just beta, but I took it out of airplane mode and got a connection on the phone and used it with the phone and got it all working okay. So I hit go, and then I get this little nag saying, be careful when walking. And there we go. It looks just like walking directions on Apple Maps for anything else, except we're on a trail now. And here it is up on the watch as well. Now, in terms of what the experience is like, there's not really a lot to it. You could see, you could scroll up, you can get some turn by turns. There's a call. It's really the same experience you'd have if you were using it in the front country. And it was a little underwhelming. There weren't even arrows on the walking directions. I was doing a loop. So in the beginning of the loop, do I know to go right or left? It doesn't really tell me. I can change the map orientation, but otherwise there's not really a lot to it. Not all of the data that you get with an app like Footpath or Work Outdoors. And there was some speculation that maps would be integrated into the workout app as a data screen. It is not. So all of these directions happen in the Maps app. If you want to track your workout, you have to go to the Workouts app, start a hike, and then go back to the Maps app to see the directions. You will get notifications in the Workouts app if there is a turn or something coming up, just like you would if you were in any other app on the Apple Watch. I do appreciate the little elevation plot and showing where you are within the Maps app. But otherwise, the turn-by-turn directions were sort of lacking. Like I mentioned earlier, when it came to the split on the loop, it didn't tell me which way to go at all, given this is a loop. But there are a lot of twists and turns in this. I'd think there'd be a little bit more. And when I did go off route on this, it didn't give me any kind of alert that I've gone off the trail or I'm going the wrong direction, which was something I would have expected that would happen. When I did do the hike the right way and came around to the end of the loop, I did get a turn notification to make the right and exit the loop, so that was a good thing. And I did get a notification saying I am almost at the end or the arrival, the end point. I think there might just be some nuances to walking on a twisty, windy trail than on a city street or a sidewalk that maybe Apple has to work out and tweak the way they deliver these notifications. Now, when I finished this hike, I noticed that the routes had synced to my watch, so I put it in airplane mode in order to do an offline test, and there they are. When I clicked on the detail for the page, I just got a stall out on this map page here, and the maps never loaded. They were supposed to be offline maps, and it just spun like this for about 7 minutes before I stopped it. But again, remember, this is a beta, and I'd imagine that this would be fixed when it finally goes live. One of the things I thought was really helpful was this new check-in feature on workouts. If you swipe to the screen where you can stop and pause, there's a new feature called check-in. If you click on that, I think it sends it to your emergency contact and they get a text message where they can check in on your workout and follow along and then get notified when you're done the workout. Only problem is I got this thing that says no internet connection, so it doesn't work over satellite. At some point, that would be great to have work over satellite. You can imagine if you're going for a hike, how nice it would be to let a loved one know that you've finished your hike safely, whether you're in or out of cell phone range. But I can see this being a great feature to let loved ones know that you're okay. I also wanted to test the non-emergency satellite messaging, and I was in an area with no cell phone service, and I got this little dialogue that says, do I want to use the satellite? Once I clicked on that, I get this little dialogue telling me to get a clear view of the sky. I'm just going to type a message in to see what happens if it tells me it's waiting or whatever. Well, let's go ahead and do that. And then if I click on this box up at the top where it's telling me to point at the satellite, it's interesting. It's giving me some directions. It's also giving me a really pretty little map there showing me where I am. And it's giving me a list of the services that I can use with a satellite, which is interesting. So it looks like you have to initiate a connection. It's not just always on. You have to sort of enable satellite connectivity, which I'm guessing is a thing just to save some battery. So it's not always looking for this. But there we go. It's the standard operating procedure that it was on before on iOS 17 and below, but a little more pretty here. And you can see once we get in there, it gives us a nice little connection and everything. It turns green. Let's go back to messages. It looks like it went out. There's a timestamp from 5:26. My wife has an iPhone, but doesn't have the beta installed. So maybe that's why the problem is here, because it's a green regular text message, but it did look like it went out. Now I can also use Find My here, and this looks exactly like the way it was before. My location via satellite, send my location, and here we have the old dialog boxes that we used to have. And it's interesting because it's not using the new ones with the fancy map. It's using this old one from iOS 11, but it did work as expected. Now, I didn't hear back from my wife who was standing by, and I did get this message that says she may not be able to reply from devices where the software has not been updated. So fair enough. I tried another message and didn't hear anything, and I did eventually get the messages back when I went back into cell phone range. Again, this is beta testing, so if we were both on iOS 18 beta, I'm guessing it would work. What's supposed to happen is that you can send messages to people via SMS, and they can reply back to you after you send to them, after you initiate. Or for iMessage, people can send to you directly, and whenever you're connected, it will check. But I'm guessing you have to initiate a manual check for those text messages. So what do you think? Leave me a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. A little rough around the edges. I think the satellite messaging has potential. I think the hiking it's in beta, but it maybe should have worked a little bit better. It should just be kind of seamless and a no-brainer for people who are not used to hiking or using the watch. So we'll see what happens when it comes out of beta. When it does come out of beta, I will do a follow-up video where I test this and show you how to use it in depth. So if you're interested in that, subscribe to the channel if you don't already. And if you're just looking for like a good app for your watch or your phone to hike with, I've got plenty of those on my site, how-tos and recommendations. Just go to my channel or my website, HikingGuy.com. All right, folks, thank you for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you out on the trails.